Hello from Achill. So today's weather is going to not be probably as good as yesterday's. Yesterday, if you remember, in the afternoon it got bright and sunny and beautiful. This afternoon is anticipating rain. So according to the weather, I have until about 2 and it's about 9. So my plan is to just kind of walk, get as far as I can. There's a bus that comes about 2:45, so my thought is aim for that one in whatever village I'm closest to at that time, and that's how far I'll get. I'm feeling okay. This like sniffly thing that I've had going on is, I don't think getting any worse. I actually think it's kind of starting to get better. It's like moved into my lungs, which generally means something's getting better for my body. And I feel like I have a little more, like, less irritation in my throat, which is good. But I'm probably freaking other people out because my asthma cough is super fun. So I'm gonna go out, but I don't really want to spend a lot of time in the rain today. I feel like that's what really allowed this to happen. So trying to avoid getting stuck in the rain for prolonged periods of time. At least until I'm feeling better. So let's see what we can do in like 5 hours. Just out for a morning stroll, you know. Well, you know, just out for a regular game of football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. So every time I've taken the bus, it's been the same bus driver. The bus just went by. It's the same bus driver. I think he's the only one that drives this route. I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, that's kind of fun. First I thought that was another inhabited island because you can see like buildings and stuff, but now I think it's actually part of the mainland. It just kind of comes down really far. With all the sheep, it's kind of unusual to see cows, but here they are. What appear to be 2 mamas and 2 babies. And I think that house over there is the one burning the peat. This is Dugert. It's this little village, probably the closest one to where I'm staying. It's about 2¼ miles away. Some houses here. There's this lovely beach. That's Sleevemore, which is the big mountain on the island. If I was here in nicer weather, I might have attempted to climb it, but this is the weather and it's going to be in a cloud at the top, so no thank you. There seems to be a little tea shop, which is not open yet. Some people are staying here. There's a shop down the road. There's a beach. It's quite lovely. It's another one of those maritime history travels. This one's a lot about immigration and then a bunch of other random things. It was not very well proofread. You can see they've like had to go in and try to fix some of them. But they definitely missed some. This acceptance, you can tell they tried to fix it, of immigration. And there's one up here too. Oh, that's supposed to be a period. Yeah. Somebody needed to proofread this a bit more before we went to print, but it's interesting. They've had a slow but real decline in population. This is as of 2016. I wonder what the population is now. I bet it's continued downward. There's not a lot to do here, honestly. Like, obviously you can go out, you know, walking like I am, but, you know, if you're trying to start a business or whatever, that's going to be hard. Are they teaching you how to stretch? Interesting. That brown sign says that there's a megalithic tomb up there. Usually what those are like 3 rocks that are like balanced together, and they're on some farmer's land, and you have to pay him like, I don't know, 3 or 5 euro or something to see these 3 rocks. And so I always kind of chuckle when I go by a megalithic tomb like that. That's where I'm going. You see those rock structures back there? I think that's the deserted village. Let's find out. So that was the first little village I visited, Dugert, which is 4 kilometers from here, apparently, which was already like 3.5 kilometers from where I'm staying. So I've walked like 6 miles. And this is the village. I've been to these before. This one I think might be the biggest one I've ever seen though. Like, it's expansive. So, this little sign here. Apparently there's this heritage trail. What it's saying is that people have lived here for over 6,000 years. And that these are like super ancient tombs. That's the one that I walked by with like the random couple of rocks probably. And now here where I am. This is the deserted village in the late 1800s. A famine hit Ireland. And a lot of people died, and a lot of people left, honestly. They immigrated to other parts of the world where they hoped there would be more opportunity. Yeah. And this little village is what they left behind. So all of these houses would have been like family houses, not just like for one person. So you might have a family of 12 living in there. Picture the thatched roofs. These must be been the houses like on the outskirts of town. Probably also what I saw on the other side. And then there seems to be some sort of mining something or other. Like there's a cave there, there's a little building, and you can't see it now, but there's one on top of that hill too. Maybe I'll learn more when I get closer. I keep passing all these Irish people, and they keep saying 2 things. 1, that it's a beautiful day, so apparently it's a beautiful day in case you were wondering. And 2, I forget how fast they walk. Like, I was passing people in England and it was like fine. Everybody keeps being like, oh, I'm sure you'll pass me. And then they're just like speeding up a mountain, and I'm like, and I'm like in shape. So yeah, I keep forgetting that. So well, here's a good example of where the peat comes from. So this boggy ground I showed you before, it's really thick, and it's made of lots of things that have decomposed over the years. And then there's lots of water and stuff, and it's kind of spongy almost. Like it's like if dirt could be a sponge, that's what it is. And so what they do, you can see all these little bags here. They like cut it out into little logs, and they let it dry out. And then you can burn it in your fireplace, and it's like really good kindling. And they used to have to do this because you might notice there's not many trees here, so burning fire, stuff like that, they needed something else to burn. And it smells like very particular. Like, I love the smell. Some people don't like it, but I'm gonna be walking through a bog, so I'll probably see a bunch more of these little stations of gathering the peats. In the distance, you can see all of the fields of the deserted village a little bit more. All those squares made out of stones. That probably would have been where they would have attempted to keep their sheep, but sheep like to just wander, so good luck with that. So this is what the side of the bog would look like when they've cut peat out, or they call it turf, when they've cut it out. So you can see it's like starting to dry out, but all of this would have been the same height over there at some point, but they've cut it out to use for burning. So the sign talks a little bit about where I thought it was a rock quarry was actually that, but it was only, and they set up this whole like train line and stuff to take it out to the water where they could ship it places. The other thing that this thing talks about is that the people on Achill, I think is what it's called. There's kind of, you can see those islands over there. Here's the map. Where is it? Here, you can kind of see it. See there. And this is where, because they didn't have any of the turf, so they needed to come over here to mine it, so they have something to burn. And that's the other side of the island from where I just was. And down there is Dua, where I was yesterday, and that direction is Kiel. Apparently the British set up a bunch of watchtowers, and there used to be one at the top of that hill. That's probably the little building that I saw, the remnants of it. So you can see them all in different places. So that's the one on Achill, but that was in 1910. That's what it looked like in 2017. There's one on Clare Island. These are ones on different islands that you can kind of see the remnants of. That's an Eris, which is another of the islands out here. So there's this other road down there, you can see the big white line. That's called the Bog Road. And if you see all the like shapes in the ground next to it, so that's all bog that they've like started cutting up, cutting out the turf and taking those like little logs of peat for people to use in their fires. So it's happening up here too, but you can kind of see it from above a little bit more. Apparently there's some sort of trail that you can take off into the bog. You can see another little sign over there. I think I see one over there in the field. That'd be cool if I had more time and before the rains were coming. Just have to come back. I don't know. It'll probably be a bit before, but I'd come back here. It's really nice. See, I keep like phrasing it like this is my last day here, but it kind of is because I'm not leaving tomorrow, I'm leaving the day after, but tomorrow it's supposed to just pour all day. And like I've said, my body cannot handle being out in the cold and rain all day again because I just get soaked through. So I basically, until it starts pouring today, it's supposed to start later this afternoon. That's kind of my explore time. Once I'm feeling better, maybe I'll brave the rain again, but it's not for tomorrow's mission. Unless I get a surprise and I wake up tomorrow and it's not rainy. And if that's the case, then who knows what I'll do. Well, this is as close as we're getting to Dua today. I've decided to take a little bit of a shortcut and go through this other little village that starts with P. I can't pronounce it. To get to Kiel, it's about 1 and the bus comes at 2:45, but the rain is supposed to start at 2. And I just don't want to be out in these open fields if it starts pouring. So I'm gonna go try to get into Kiel before 2 and have a little poke around there, wait for the bus and head back to where I'm staying and hunker down in the rain. Okay, I'm using this license because it's a rental car, but I just wanted to show you that I always kind of think that licenses and our license plates in Ireland are kind of cool because there's like a formula to them. So the middle initial is always the initial of the county that it's registered in. So this is Dublin. That's how you say Dublin in Irish. These numbers, the first 2 were the year. So this was registered in 2023 and it was registered in the first half of the year. So this is either a 1 or a 2. I suppose it could be a 3 or 4, depending if they run out of numbers over here, but I've only ever seen a 1 or a 2. And then these numbers, so in 2023, the first half of the year, it is the 41,418th car that was registered in the county of Dublin. Like, the license plates in the States just are random numbers and letters, but I don't know. I always think these are cool. There's the magic disappearing and reappearing beach of Dua. I keep calling it something else. I think this is an old telephone pole or old light post. So, would I come back to Achill? Yes. Would I stay where I'm staying? Not unless I had a car. So the bus is like doable, unlike, before. It comes every 2 hours or so and, from a reasonable time until a reasonable time, which is great. But it's just inconvenient enough. Like I'm just kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's not a shop, there's not a pub, except for the one that's in the restaurant or that's in the place where I'm staying. Like there's just nothing else there. And as lovely as that can be, like it's just a little too isolated for me. And then there's no view. Like I think if there was a view, I think I'd be sold. But like you're just in the trees. And I said this before, I can see a tree at home. So yeah, I think I'd stay somewhere else if I came, or I'd come with somebody who is comfortable driving a car. That's my 2 cents. So this person has just like stopped his car in the middle of the road to like have a chat with the person in their driveway. Like this is why Ireland and Hawaii are like simpatico. How do you know you're in a small community? That car right there, the driver's door is wide open and the keys are in the ignition. There's no one there. Yeah. Yeah, the food cart game is strong in Kiel. There's also some kind of further that way too. And then there's this beach. Yeah, it's kind of nice here. Not quite sure how that works for business, but apparently of like under 8 food trucks, 3 of them can be crepe/pancake places, and it's fine. Interesting. Ending the day my favorite way, feet in the sea. Oh, just wish it was a little warmer. The range of what people are wearing right now is wild. Like I'm still in my hiking stuff and I'm kind of cold. Like if I stood here much longer, I'd want to put on a jacket. There are people just straight up in bikinis in the water, which is freezing by the way, or like swim shorts. The lifeguard has on shorts and a hoodie because they probably have to be ready to jump in at a moment's notice. There are people with full-on wetsuits, and then there are people walking around the beach in like jeans and heavy coats and sneakers and stuff. Like the range is wild. Also, it's very windy and my hair looks ridiculous, but it's beautiful here. Oh, I'm glad I got a second nice day. It was originally supposed to rain today, so fingers crossed I eke out at least part of a third. The semi-generic ice cream. Let's pretending it's like Italian or French or something. A little artificial, but I wasn't really in the mood for a 99, and they didn't have anything local. So Stracciatella it is. Score like 6.5. It's really artificial. Should have gotten the 99. Whatever. Well, I've been lucky so far. It's been sprinkling on and off, but no full-on like downpour yet. So the clouds look quite angry, but we shall see. Maybe we'll look out and it just won't rain or something. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna do anything all that exciting tonight. Probably just what I've been doing every night. Eat, hang out, and go to the pub. There's supposed to be traditional music tonight, so if I end up going to that, I'll show you a little bit of it. If not, that was the end of my day, just chilling.